Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with more iRacing. This time around we're here with the VRS GT3 challenge from Rudskogen. Yes, of course, the new track that came to iRacing for 2022 Season 4. Honestly, I was quite surprised that they're trying to race the VRS GT3 series around this circuit. It's only 2 miles long, it's quite tight and twisty. I kind of said, I think in that preview video, that I thought TCRs or maybe Formula 3 cars would be sort of the biggest and fastest cars you could bring to this place. But we'll wait and see as to how this goes, of course. Make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well if you want to see more iRacing and other sim racing related content from me here on the channel. But yeah, we've got to get out there into qualifying. Fingers crossed we can start near the front because overtaking around this place is not going to be easy.
You're in pole. Your last lap time was at 1:19.44.
Oh, there we go. 1:18.99 there. Quite happy that we could try and sneak it into the 18s. Looks like Pablo, though, is very, very quick as well, so we might be able to go faster than me. But that is provisional pole then, here at Rudskogen. We will take that in the big BMW. Right, well, we do start this one from pole then, but Pablo alongside is 2 thousandths away at the end of qualifying, so we could certainly have a bit of a race on our hands. Of course, honestly, where we've just been hammered so badly on iRacing recently, we desperately need a good few races of just kind of staying towards the front of the field there, get ourselves back up towards 2K. So we'll wait and see what happens over the next few races. But yeah, starting from the pole though, safety car's about to be peeling in. We get to dictate the pace out of this final corner, so fingers crossed we're just going to be able to bolt around about now. Why not, eh? And there we go. We should lead comfortably up in towards turn 1, and let's see if we can try and form a little bit of a breakaway early on in this race. Called cold tyres, cold rubbers, everything like that as we head in towards the first corner. A tricky, tight 90-degree left there, followed by a long flowing 180 right. Of course, Rudskogen, I'd never heard of it before I came to iRacing. I wouldn't be surprised if most of you hadn't either, unless of course I've got, I think it's Norwegian, isn't it? So I've got some Norwegian followers. If I do, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, like I said, just going to try and see if we can make a little bit of a gap at the start of this one, try and break into some freedom. But yeah, of course, fairly easy to pick up 1Xs as well around this circuit, so we've just got to be a little bit careful of that. As, yeah, it is quite an intricate little circuit as well. Really struggled to actually learn it originally, but seems in the GT3 cars, and obviously after a little bit of time as well, slowly get to grips with this venue as we head down through the second half. And it's always these just few corners, I don't know what it is, but I always forget they're here around this track, and then that corner as well. There's just nowhere I've found to spot your braking point as you head through there. But yeah, a lot of corners though, you can get 2 wheels nicely over the curbs. Of course, got to be careful of the grass in some places as well. That looks like Rex has made the move work on Pablo on this opening lap, but we are going to lead the way then out of the final corner. About 9 tenths clear at the end of lap 1. Going to be about a 30 lap race though, of course, because this track is incredibly short. Of course, got to do a pit stop as well, most likely, although you don't spend a lot of time on full throttle around here. Of course, you've got this high-speed section in Sector 1, but all of the rest of the track has actually been quite tentative on the throttle as well, so I have to be a bit careful with that. Yeah, Rex looks like he's in the Porsche. Kind of thought that car would be a popular choice. I mean, it has been for most of the season, but yeah, just of course where it's got the engine at the rear end, so easy just to flick into the corners. But you know, we'll wait and see. The BMW, of course, a very stable craft as well. Of course, why I quite like it as a race car. Very forgiving, very easy. Sort of just easier than most of the GT3s. Just to kind of feel the limit. I find, yeah, no, do very much enjoy racing this car as we head down through the hairpin on lap 2. I mean, we've settled in quite nicely early on. Like I said, I'm hoping this one we can kind of just lead from the front. But yeah, again, don't want to take too many big risks. We desperately need some iRacing. We desperately need some SR as well. Sat just on 1.2 SR at the moment, so you know, in the perfect world, we'd win this with 0x. Probably won't happen, but our boy can dream. Is, yeah, we're not really putting away from Rex early on, so we might just have to settle down and see.
That was a 119.59.
Try and extract a little bit more pace there. As
0.26 off the pace. Sector 2
we're a
time is
long way
okay.
down in Sector 2. Sector 1 even. Quick through Sector 3 apparently. Let's just see if we can try and open up this gap just a little bit and try and get down towards the 18s. But of course we've got full fuel in the car, everything like that. So yeah, might not be so easy. Well, Rex definitely isn't letting me get away early on in this race. He's just set new fastest lap of the day. So we're just settling down comfortably, consistently into the 119s here. But yeah, don't want to really try and over push myself too early on either. So I mean, like I said, Rudskogen is a very difficult track to overtake on. The only real chance you've got is to try and get a big run down here or wait for the car in front of you just to understeer out wide through one of the longer corners, then just try and snip the nose sort of up the inside. So we'll wait and see what happens. Still just learning a little bit more every time you go around about what you can and can't do on this circuit. Of course, like I said, trying to be careful with the 1Xs, could desperately do with some SR today. But when you get it hooked up like that, it's so much fun, this track. It is a little roller coaster of a venue. It kind of reminds me, in a bit of a weird way, of like Alton Park, that sort of thing, of just, you know, not... Well, Alton Park is probably a lot faster average speed. Ooh, steady on. But, yeah, kind of just that flick it in, pray kind of mentality that you get through a lot of the chicanes around Alton Park. Kind of reminiscent here. But, yeah, Rex is giving us a good run for our money early on, trying to hang on in that Porsche. Yeah, I mean, we're in quite a low SOF lobby, so we might see a fair bit of carnage as well today, but you know, we're not overdriving. I think this is the most important thing. You know, we're keeping him at bay and we're not having to over push the car.
That lap time was 119.31. Fastest lap for Mitchell, 119.16.
There we go. Again, Rex going even faster just behind us, setting a new personal best for the day, and doing so new fastest lap of the day as well, as that was quite close to a 1X. But yeah, well, we might try and push, see if we can get one fastest lap here as we head down the hill. We got a nice run through the first couple of turns, so we'll wait and see what we can do. You know, it is sometimes a little bit of psychological warfare. If someone goes quicker, just try and make sure that you beat out their time. So we head through. I love these corners, they are so much fun, especially this one when you get the front end to bite and then you're just trying to push off the curbing on the exit. It's so cool. Yeah, I didn't enjoy Rudskogen particularly in the first sort of initial video that I did round here, but yeah, this is the first actual race I've done, and it is, once you get it hooked up, very good fun circuit. At the end of the day is through the final couple of corners. Let's see if we can try and nab that fastest lap back then into the 118s potentially as well. Just take a really wide line through the hairpin, get the car connected to the apex on the exit, and there we go. That should be a 118. And that's just the kind of little things you need to try and do every once in a while. 118.95, quicker than I even went to qualifying. We just open up that gap a little bit. So now we can just settle back, relax once more.
That's a new fastest lap for Mitchell, 118.78.
Fair play to him. He's able to match the times, 118.7 that time round, so that Porsche's got some ponies under it. But again, you know, we hold the trump card here. Track position, of course. But, you know, we're having a good little battle.
Don't be intimidated. Keep him behind you.
Crew Chief absolutely spot on. We've just got to keep him at bay still early on. I mean, it might get interesting when we get round to pit stops, but yeah, you can just get that Porsche dialed into an apex in a way that simply doesn't work with the BMW. Of course, that engine in the front end. Oh, a little bit wide there. Try and recover the car on the exit, which we do quite nicely in the end. Try and get back a little bit at a time. Oh, we got a big wobble behind us, I think, as we went down the hill. But yeah, just got to try and keep it clean and tidy. So like I said, that Porsche, just get it to the apex. You can just get it on the power so early. Really has been a very, very popular choice this season. That must have been close to a 1X as well. I think Rex, yeah, might just have overheated the tyres slightly. Just drops back a little bit as we head through the final corners once more. Nice run out of the final turn that time round. But yeah, almost 15 minutes in already, where we're still controlling the pace. Yeah, just like I said, I don't want to over push. I don't want to sort of overstep the mark, potentially make some mistakes. As still got to be careful about clipping the grass on the inside, because that can be a nice easy way to throw away a tenth or so and pick up a 1X. That's the big worry today. We're all about the incidents and the SR. We're going to set a new personal best for the day. Not quite as fast as that 18.7 that we saw from Rex a couple of laps ago, but again, the gap just starting to inch in the right direction. Always forget as well, you know, that Porsche might be very good, but it can be quite aggressive on its tyres still early on in a stint. So yeah, he definitely takes a bit of life out of him, gets the pace, but then starts to struggle. I'm actually looking at fuel as well. We could go pretty much towards the end of this race. It really is just going to be a splash and dash late on. It does make you wonder whether, you know, if you're tucked up in the slipstream of someone, whether you could no-stop this. I mean, Rex luckily isn't close enough to me to even consider it, I don't think, but it is quite an interesting sort of idea around here. Oh, and I think Rex has gone. No idea what he's done. He's dropped back a good sort of 7 seconds or so, so not ideal for him, but going to mean we're under even less pressure. It does make you wonder whether, you know, people are trying to potentially do a no-stop round here. I don't think the pit lane, I mean, it's a slow pit lane, 50 kph, 31 miles an hour, but surely you can't try and save up that sort of time, as you know, maybe now we'll get Rex and Pablo having a bit of a battle behind us. Just going to do our own thing though, still focus.
Sector 3 is 0.32 off the pace.
Apparently, yeah, we're losing time in Sector 3 now, but that's incredibly close to a 1X through there, as getting up towards our first lap car of the day. Hopefully Baptiste will play ball as we head down the hill. So it's still a couple of seconds up the road, but that won't take us long, I don't think, to gather up. As we head back through these S's again, you can really get two wheels properly over the curb in there. And I mean, that one you're pretty much aiming to get the entire car over the curb if possible. As you can see, it's just a little bit all over the road in front of us. Maybe doesn't quite know the circuit particularly well, and it is a horrible track if you don't know where you're going. You just cannot build confidence up, as you can see, a bit deep into the hairpin as well as suddenly. Don't get that often in the BMW. The traction controls decided it was not bothering. Let's get a big kick there, as maybe we can try and get a run out of the final corner there, and hopefully he'll move out of the way. Blue flags, everything like that. Wait and see. What's he doing? I think he's hopefully going to move. Just going to let off the throttle. Why? Why? I mean, thank you very much, but
Clear left.
It's not great blue flag driving. Just swerving across me.
Got 20 minutes left. We're
halfway there though.
About 15 minutes of fuel remaining.
So yeah, the team reckon we're going to get to about 35 minutes on the tank, but yeah, maybe you could have tried some interesting fuel strats around here. There's Rex. I wonder if he's just picked up a tiny bit of damage, because he's not even closing in on Pablo again. Just focus on our own race though at the moment. Try and set some good, clean, tidy laps. Hopefully don't get disconnected, as we just get a momentary blip.
That lap was a 118.93. Yellow flag. Watch out.
Oh, yellow flag's out. Oh, I picked up a slowdown as well, apparently. Must have just nicked the curb in through turn 1 a little bit too much, so we'll just blip off the throttle out of turn 2. It's weird. Yeah, I felt like I'd taken a fair amount of curb, but didn't think I'd been that ridiculous. Just come on. There we go. Slowdown disappeared. Luckily, we didn't get a 1X for it either. So clearly Rudskogen is fairly lenient, you know, it's maybe geared a bit more like Lemans than OG Spa. Oh, I'm so happy OG Spa and iRacing's gone, as we've now got more lap traffic just up the road. That is a very, very wide line there from the Merc, but I think he's just going to get out of it for us. Thank you very much, Janelle. So we are, yeah, slowly picking our way up through the rostrum. Dimitri in the pit lane. We've got someone exiting out the pits.
Sector 2 is 0.47 off the pace.
I love it when crew chief gives you data for... Oh, where's this guy going? Is this the guy we lapped a couple of laps ago? Yes, it is. It is Baptiste. Yeah, clearly a few people going then for some earlier pit stops. Hopefully, again, he's going to be a little bit more predictable with where I can lap him. But we'll wait and see. Again, you know, we've got a fair old leader. Don't need to take any risks at the moment. No need to do so. That was very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that one. There we go. Looks like Rex and Pablo are having a battle behind us now, so maybe an even better opportunity just to open up the gaps a little bit more. If we can get up sort of about 11 seconds, that'd be quite nice. But again, you know, perhaps I'm just getting a little bit worried for the sake of it about that fuel. I don't think anyone is going to sensibly be able to lift and coast to not have to box. Or would it even be worth it? I don't know. We'll wait and see. There we go. Rex has pulled off the move, but they've each lost a good second and a half or so. So certainly helping us, doing us a couple of little favours. It's less than 15 minutes to go now. The team just starting to warn me about how little fuel we've got left. I think we're starting to see some cars pitting then. Pablo and Rex both dropping off the radar just for the moment. So we've now got Alejandro up into net P2 of the race, or up into current P2 even of the race, I should say. I've got no idea what net position any of these guys are in. It's just sort of seeing as obviously we're on low fuel now, whether we can try and chase a new fastest lap of the day. A little way up there, but we'll throw a bit of time away on the exit of the corner. Yeah, would like, you know, pole position, fast lap race victory, all that good stuff. As that is a horrible line out of there. Still trying to decide whether that's a first or second gear hairpin. But it really does depend more on the line you get rather than the gear you're in, as that was close. Tap those curbs through the final corners. Now we're down again. We'll have to go for it once more. Oh, no, Rex is gone. So it must have been an incident then, I'm guessing, or he's just made a mistake, but it's a disappointment to see. About 10 minutes away from home, Rex out of it. Are we about to nab his fastest lap as well? Of course, I almost said fastest lap bonus point, but you don't get bonus points on iRacing. So at the final corner we'll go. This one's going to be a really fast lap in the end. It's going to be, what, an 18.3, so happy with that. Definitely built up a lot of confidence over the course of the race today. There's got more lap traffic now just in the way. Hopefully Marcel is going to let us through in just a moment.
The car behind's pitting.
Place currently is, you know, we haven't got much fuel left, so we are going to have to box at some point quite soon. Okay, Marcel does not want to give this one up though, apparently. So just see that a little bit out of shape. Just getting closer and closer for his mirrors. Again, you know, it is a bit difficult through a lot of this track. You know, there aren't many places to let the cars by around sort of this part of the circuit. But yeah, definitely doesn't want to do it. So you can see how much time we're losing now. Just a few moments stuck in the dirty air. How much fuel have we got? 2 more laps. Might just be worth peeling into the pit lane now if he decides not to let me by. To be honest, I'm not really 100% sure where the pit lane is around this venue. Through the final couple of turns. We'll see if we can spot it this time. I think it's out of there. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we'll go for one more then. There we go. He does peel out of the way.
Alright. Right side's clear.
But we need to box at the end of this one. Because that lap, yeah, was a second slower
Very little fuel
than what
left.
I'd done previously.
In this lap.
There we go. Crew chief just confirming. Get the car into the box at the end of this one. 7 minutes to go of this race. Doing pretty well still. Definitely don't need that much fuel, but to be honest, I'm just happy to leave it as it is. Don't forget to pit map. I've done that before on F1. Luckily, I don't think I've ever done it on iRacing, of course, because if I did, then we'd be well and truly out of fuel. But heading into the pit lane then, where are we going? Here, apparently. Deary me. Right,
What's your speed limit in the pits? Pit lane speed limit is...
Let's see how much damage that's done to the car then, and we ran 0x up to that point. 0 instant points up to then. and I go and throw it away on pit entry. Oh, that's embarrassing, but yeah, where is our grid store? Oh, we're right towards the top, but is Pablo coming into the pits? Is he already boxed? I don't know what's going on there. Let's just make sure we get it slowed down nice and tidy. Oh, only 11 seconds worth of optionals. Pablo's in as well, so don't need to worry about him. So let's get on with it then. We've got plenty of spare fuel. We might have a little bit of damage to try and nurse for the finish.
Bring it on home, you're the man.
5 minutes, yep. We just got to bring it home, apparently.
Your exit's clear. Don't cross the white line.
Let's just not take any risks. And try not to bin it in the pit lane again. That was... I was going to genuinely be close to the perfect race there. 0 instant points, pole position, fastest lap, race victory. But the instant points has ruined it. This is now my worst race ever on the sim. Luckily, immediately, car does feel fine. Don't lift out on the racing line on a corner exit, please. Get a bit away from the corner and then do it. But thank you very much, Janelle, again. Around the final corner then to start the last lap here from Rudskogen then. And well, if you ignore that little pit lane mishap, this one has not exactly been a bad race for us. As long as we don't do anything stupid now. Famous last words as always there, but yeah, we have led from start to finish under a fair bit of pressure early on. There was almost immediately bottling it down at turn 1. Just took a bit too much curve that time through, but I'm just so gutted we picked up that 2x, because this would have been a 0x run as well in a 40-minute race, which is pretty good going on iRacing, but it helped us out. At the very least maintain my B licence, but still living on the prayer that we can try and get up to A, ready for next season. I wouldn't mind, you know, doing some of the Mercedes F1 sprint races or some of the ILMS stuff as well. Would love to go back into the GTE cars, of course. Scrap now in real life. Love me some GTEs, especially. You know, they're all pretty iconic in their own way, to be honest. So yeah, I wouldn't mind giving them a bit of a run still. If they're even featured still next season. Of course, I don't think iRacing will get rid of them, but we'll wait and see about that. But Rudskogen, fair play, it has surprised me today. I was not expecting this track to work as well in these cars as it has done. Of course, probably helped based on the fact we haven't had to do too much battling, just a lot of defensive work early on. But round in the final corner then, it is going to be pole position, fastest lap race victory. Sadly no 0x, so we wait for that elusive perfect weekend. But up over the line, is that it?
You won. Fantastic drive.
It is it. Just the timer decided it was going to reset by a couple of minutes there. Too bad it wasn't for a million. Yep, crew chief spot on. But there we go. Back on top in the VRS GT3 series once more after the second place at Suzuka last week. Of course, like I said, a little bit hollow because, you know, we're in such a low SOF. Why did that guy hit me? Oh, no. But yeah, let's go have a look at those final race results. Now it's completely ruined. We're up to 6x. There we go then, having a look at our final race results here from Rudskogen. 78 iRacing, desperately needed. 0.48 SR as well, should have probably been about 0.6, 0.7 had we not got crashed into after the finish there. But yeah, led all 30 laps, fastest lap as well by about 0.3 of a second. Can't really complain about that one when all is said and done. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourselves subscribed as well. And yeah, we will certainly return with more iRacing very, very soon. We've got 2 more weeks left of the VRS series. Fingers crossed we can try and get some more good results.